So, welcome to corporate Bhagavad Gita reading sessions. There are prayers on my screen. You can repeat with me. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Aham Shri Guru Shivta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगत्ते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैर्वच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So again, welcome to Bhagavad Gita sessions. We were reading from the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 17 verses we had finished. Okay. So in this particular chapter, Krishna is saying that I am seated in everyone's heart and I give remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. Okay. So Krishna is to be known. Then he starts speaking about two beings. He says there are two classes of beings, living beings, Jiva Tattva. Fallible, infallible, Shara Akshara. Fallible is the one who comes to this material world. Infallible is the one who remains in the spiritual world. Fallible is the one who gets attracted to the material world, comes here, want to independently enjoy. And infallibles are those who don't want to independently enjoy. They are there in the spiritual world and they don't fall down to material world. Okay. So in the material world, every living entity is fallible. In the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. So the word loke is used. Loke means the place. So there are two kinds of places: the material world, the living entity, and the spiritual world. So in the material world, it is fallible. In there, it is infallible. Okay. So now every coin has two sides, right? We always say this. Every coin has two sides. One is the head, one is the tail. Right? This is the head, this is the tail. So when Krishna says there are two types, can there be a third type? When he says there are two types of beings, then he says besides you two, there is the greatest living personality. There are two sides. One is head, one is tail. One falls down, one doesn't fall down. Some lot of noise here. I'll just mute.
Yeah.
So he says there are two sides. One is fallible, infallible. Now, opposite of fallible is what? Infallible. Opposite of infallible is fallible. Can there be a third thing? Either it should fall in infallible, either it should fall in fallible. Right? Opposite of up is down. Opposite of down is up. There's nothing third thing in it, right? You understand this point?
Yes, Prabhu.
Like you take opposites, opposite words. So many opposite words are there. Live, dead, maximum, minimum. So there are only two words. One is one and other one is opposite, right? There are only two words. So Krishna is also saying there are two classes, there are two words, fallible, infallible. But he says, besides these two, there is the greatest living personality. He is not under fallible and infallible condition, meaning these things cannot be applied to him. This is last time we discussed. None of these two definitions can be applied to him. Like I give this example, traffic lights. Okay, these traffic lights are for what? These traffic lights are for
control the traffic.
For cars, two-wheelers, trucks, bicycles, pedestrians, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Isn't it? Are they for the aeroplane?
No.
No. That is what Krishna is trying to say. There are two kinds of beings, fallible, infallible. They will follow certain rules among themselves. These rules cannot be applied to the greatest living entity. Besides these two, there is greatest living personality, the super soul, imperishable Lord himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. So, the supreme soul, the Paramatma, these two definitions cannot be applied only, fallible, infallible. Just like for aeroplane, this red signal, green signal, orange signal doesn't apply. It has nothing to do with it. Whatever these signals may be, it will independently run. Okay. These traffic lights are for the road. The traffic that aeroplane follows is completely on a different plane, isn't it? So we cannot apply this definition of these lights on the aeroplane. Okay. Another way to understand this is for all the public. But the day when the prime minister goes on the road, if the traffic light is red, will it stop? Will his car stop? No, right? Are you there?
Yeah, no, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I want you to understand this part because, okay, I'll explain. So, for the Prime Minister, these signals he has set up, okay, he has set up this whole traffic light system, but he is not under them, okay, he is not underneath it. Why we need to understand this point is because the Mayavadis they say that there is nothing like supreme. The avatars that are coming and all that, they are also under the laws of this world, but it is not true, because here Krishna is explaining besides the two there is the greatest living personality. These two will follow the traffic lights. This for super soul there is no, we cannot even apply those traffic lights. It's like that. Uttama purushastav anyaha. Uttama purusha, there are, this purusha is uttama, topmost. Anyaha, besides those two, u, akshara, akshara, fallible, infallible. Okay. And this personality is the Lord himself, and who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. Okay, he has entered the three worlds and he is maintaining everyone. Okay. Now we'll go to the 18th verse. Any questions on the previous thing discussed before we move? Yasmat sharam atitoham aksharapi chottama atosmi loke vedecha praditaha purushottama. Yasmat sharam atitoham. Aham. So now Krishna is talking about himself. He is saying, I am the Purushottama. In the previous word, there was Uttama Purusha. He is saying, I am that Purushottama. Because I am transcendentalist, because I am beyond both the fallible and infallible. Now here the word beyond both the fallible and infallible is written. Okay, he is beyond these definitions and these restrictions. And because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Okay, I am in the Veda. In the Veda, when they talk about Purusha Uttama, I am that Purushottama. See, this is the great thing about Bhagavad Gita. Everywhere else the Purushottama is said, but who is that Purushottama? Nobody tells. But the Purushottama, when he speaks Bhagavad Gita, he says, I am that Purushottama. Atitoham praditaha Purushottama. You got it? Now, because of this revelation, where Krishna is saying, I am the Purushottama, the 15th chapter is named by this verse, Purushottam Yoga. The yoga means to join back, to know, to connect back to the supreme person. That knowledge is there in this chapter 15. Therefore, it's called Purushottama Yoga. So this is the verse which gives the name to this chapter, Purushottam Yoga. Okay. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. He is therefore the greatest personality. Now it is clear that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are individuals. The difference is that living entities either in the conditioned state or in the liberated state. So either they are in the material world or in the spiritual world. They cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? We cannot go beyond the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. We cannot become bigger than Bhagavan. Because he is Tava Anya. He is Anya. He is different. He is definitely a living being, but he is the supreme living being. It is incorrect to think. Now, this is the point I was trying to explain. It is incorrect to think that the Supreme Lord and the living beings are on the same level or equal in respects. So, we are not at the same level. We are neither equal to the Supreme Lord. Can the child be on the same level of the parent or equal to the parent? The answer is clear cut no. Right? Same way, the Akshara Shara, the living entity is fallible, infallible. Neither of them is on the same level of Krishna and is equal to Krishna. There is always a question of superiority, inferiority between these personalities. The word Uttama is very significant. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality. So this superiority and inferiority is between these two personalities, the Super Soul and the Supreme Lord and the Jivatma, the Jiva, the living entity. This superior inferiority is there. Now, my question to you is, let's put up this thing now. We have the Supreme Lord and the Jiva.
While going mommy already cooked dal, that's why I'm not cooking dal.
I cook. Uttama Purushaha. We'll use the and Jivatma. Okay, who is superior here? Who is inferior here? Who is superior? Who is inferior? Uttama Purusha is superior. Jivatma is inferior. Now you need to tell me, okay, one relationship Krishna himself gave. I am superior, they are inferior. What are the other types of relationship that Krishna tells in other places between him and the Jivatma? Can you tell me? In other places,
Bhakti like mom ekam sharanam bhaja.
Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Okay, that is something that he tells to do. But what I'm asking is, what is the other relationships that he says that he has?
Man baba mad bhakto. Become my devotee.
Become my devotee. Become my
Parama,
devotee. Huh?
Paramatma and Jivatma.
Paramatma, Jivatma. Yeah, we can say that Paramatma and Jivatma also you can say. Anything more? The Jivatma is Bhakta.
Infinite and infinitesimal.
Okay. That's also good. This is Bhakta and this is Mad Bhakta. What's the exact word? Okay, Bhagavan. This is Bhagavan, that is Bhakta. Okay. Anything more? In this chapter only we read, no? 15.7. Mama eva amsa. They are my part and parcel. So, what is the relationship? Krishna is saying they are my part and parcel.
Like Anu and Vibhu.
Now, Anu, Vibhu, the same infinite, infinitesimal, that is there. Part and parcel. And we'll say this is the whole.
Yeah.
Anything more? Anything father, mother, grandfather? Other places Krishna says, no?
Yes.
What did he say? You are the first living creature, your great grandfather. We are like children, right? Great grandfather. Actually, it's not just great grandfather, it is something more also. You are the father of the complete cosmic manifestation. So he's saying father also. Anything more? You are the supreme spiritual master. Okay, we can put that also as a next one. Supreme spiritual master, and we are his shishya, disciples. Shishya. Okay. Anything more here? Great grandfather happened, father happened, and what? What all he says? I am the father of this universe, the mother. Okay, Krishna is mother also. Okay, list is becoming bigger. Anything more he says? His great grandfather, his father, his mother, and what? And what he says more? See, here only he says father, mother, grandsire. Pita aham asya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. There is one more verse I am looking for. Anything that comes to your mind? Fifth chapter. Krishna says, Bhoktaram Yagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surhid Sarvabhutanam. Surhid. Surhidam Sarvabhutanam. Well-wisher of living entities. Who is our well-wisher? Well-wisher. This is friend. Right? And what is our relationship to him in friendship? What do you think in friendship? What is our relationship to him? Yes? What do you think? In a friendship relationship, what is our relationship to him? Any thoughts? Yes, any thoughts? If Krishna says, I am your friend, then what we become to him? What we become to him?
Friend, friend.
Yes. So when Krishna says friend, we also become to his friend. There is this relationship is friend to friend. Every other relationship has some different opposite word. But when Krishna says he is our friend, we are also his friend. And there are many more things he says. Bhoktaram Yagasa Pasam. So he says, I am your master. You are my servant. Okay. So many relationship Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita. Right? Isn't it? Now, where are we? We completed this verse? Or no? So now superior and inferiority is there. But other relationships are also there. Isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
So my question to you is, in this world, what is our experience of superiority and inferiority? What is our experience? If someone says, I am superior to you, you are inferior, what does that mean to us? What do we feel? We feel happy, or what is our state? Yeah?
Not happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
not
but
happy.
what
Rather
is the
sad.
problem? What is the problem over there?
It's the cycle has mind problem.
Because the other one wants to boss on us, right? And when there is
Yes,
superior
yes, yes.
inferiority, people want to take advantage of us. So we fear this superior inferiority, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes,
But
Prabhuji.
but let's say the same statement comes from mother. I am superior to you, you are inferior. Okay, let's assume that she's a good
Yeah.
mother. Now, is there a problem with that statement?
No, Prabhu. Yeah.
No, no problem
Why?
actually.
Because she is our mother.
Because she's mother. She is
Huh?
respected.
She's respected, fine, but is she there to exploit us?
No, no, no.
No.
She's going to help us. Yeah.
Right, right. So, a mother is also a friend, right? Sometimes mothers say to children, I am also your
Yes.
friend, isn't it? So, such a mother who is a friend,
Yes.
when she says, I am superior, you are inferior, you need to listen to me, the child is not afraid of that whole statement. Why? Because he knows that the mother is well wisher, the mother is actually friend.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but that doesn't happen with everybody in our experience. When our boss says, I am superior, you are inferior, which other role he's taking? He's not taking any role, right?
Yeah.
He's not
Yes. Yes.
even taking a role of a well wisher, isn't it?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
this
Yes.
is, yeah, what were you saying? What
Yeah,
were you saying?
that's right.
Huh? Okay. So, so this is what we need to understand, that when Krishna says he is superior, we are inferior, it is not to be taken like, a material boss, where boss is also saying you are, yeah, you are inferior, I am superior. No, he has given other definitions of our relationship, and the best one is the last, the one before, well wisher, friend, mata dhata pitamaha. Sometimes we don't like our father mother, we go to grandfather. We know everything will be accepted at grandfather's will, right?
Hmm.
If grandfather doesn't explain, then one will go to great grandfather. And Krishna is saying, I'm everything. I'm great grandfather, grandfather, mother, father, mother, and friend. So our relationship to him is not just materially. So the material superior inferiority cannot be applied to Krishna. That's what I'm saying. We cannot apply the same experience to Krishna when he says, I am superior and you are inferior. Okay, you got the point?
Hmm. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are many proofs to it. Even though he is superior, he will still come, right?
Hmm.
For his devotee, Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. He is a devotee of his devotee, and he's Vatsala. Vatsala is a Vatsa. Vatsa means child. So he'll take care like a mother takes care of a child. Getting?
Hmm.
That is Krishna. So this word, na, superior inferiority, it cannot be taken only, this one line. It cannot be taken without the other definitions. Okay, it has to be clubbed with other definitions. This is very important. Otherwise, what happens is, people in today's world, right, they don't want to surrender to God because they have bad experiences with their bosses and sometimes with their parents and friends. And here Krishna is saying, I am superior, you are inferior. That also puts them off. They say, no more superiority, no more inferiority, Baba. I am already terrified in this world, exploited from all sides. And here again you bring me to God and say, God is saying, I am superior, you are inferior. No, Baba, it doesn't mean that. It means all other relationships are intact. When he says he is superior, we are inferior. That is the beauty of this relationship. The word loke signifies in the Paurusha Agama, the Smriti scriptures, as confirmed in the Nirukti dictionary. Loke ette Vedato Nena. The purpose of the Vedas is explained with the Smriti scriptures. The Supreme Lord in his localized aspect of Paramatma is also described in the Vedas themselves. The following verse appears in the Vedas, Chandogopyanishad. What it says, the super soul coming out of the body enters into the impersonal. The super soul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahmajyoti. Then in his form, he remains in his spiritual identity. That supreme is called Supreme Personality. This means that the super soul is exhibiting and diffusing his spiritual effulgence, which is the ultimate illumination. That Supreme Personality also has a localized aspect of as Paramatma. By incarnating himself with the son of Satyavati and Parashara, he explained the Vedic knowledge as Vyasa. So it's like this. Now, next verse. Any question on that? Any question on the previous verse or anything? Okay. 15.9. Yo mam evam asamudo janati purushottam sa sarvet bhajate mam sarvo bhaven bhartam. So now, those who know him, yo mam evam asamudo, without a doubt, janati, those who know him, those who know me as Purusha Uttama. Okay, I am the Supreme Uttama Purusha. Sa sarvavid bhajate mam sarva bhavena bharata. They only will do bhajan to me. They only will do bhakti yoga to me with full heart, full emotion, full feeling. Sarva bhavena bharata. Bharata means Arjuna. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. Any doubt in this line? Are we clear that Krishna is the Supreme?
Yes, Prabhu.
So if we know he is the Supreme, we have no doubts, then we will do devotional service to him. Krishna says this thing. That's why devotional service to Krishna not everyone can do, because they have to understand that he is Purushottama. There are many philosophical speculations about the constitutional position of the living entity and the supreme absolute truth. Now, in this verse, the Supreme Person of Godhead clearly explains that anyone who knows Krishna to be the Supreme Person is actually the knower of everything. The imperfect knower goes on simply speculating about the absolute truth, but the perfect knower, without wasting his valuable time, engages directly in Krishna consciousness. The devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Throughout the whole Bhagavad Gita, this fact has been stressed at every step, and still there are so many stubborn commentators, sorry. There are so many stubborn commentators on Bhagavad Gita who consider Supreme Absolute Truth and the living entity to be one and the same. So they are not one and the same. They are equal in quality, they have some similarity in qualities, but they are never equal in quantity. One is superior, one is inferior. So this is the relationship they have. Vedic knowledge is called Shruti, learning by oral reception. So the Vedas, they are taught as Shruti, means you have to learn it from a person orally. one should actually receive Vedic knowledge from authorities like Krishna and his representatives. Here, Krishna distinguishes everything very nicely, and one should hear from his source. Simply to hear like hogs and dogs is not sufficient. One must be able to understand from the authorities. It is not that one should simply speculate academically. One should submissively hear from Bhagavad Gita that these living entities are always subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who is able to understand this according to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, knows the purpose of the Vedas. No one else knows the purpose of the Vedas. Okay, so once we hear it from the authorities, it's easy to accept Krishna as a Supreme. The word bhajati is very significant. In many places, bhajati is expressed in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If a person engaged in full Krishna consciousness in the devotional service of the Lord, is to be understood that he has understood all the Vedic knowledge. In the Vaishnava Parampara, it is said that if one is engaged in devotional service, then there is no other spiritual process for understanding of the Supreme Lord. So Bhakti Yoga is the final process. He has come to the point because he is engaged in devotional service of the Lord. He has ended all preliminary processes of understanding. But if anyone, after speculating for hundreds and thousands of years, does not come to the point that Krishna is the Supreme Person Godhead and one has to surrender, then all his speculation of so many years' lives is useless. So many people try to understand who is the absolute truth, who is the absolute truth, who is the absolute truth. But if they don't come to this conclusion, which is there in Bhagavad Gita, and if they don't learn this from a devotee, even if they read Bhagavad Gita, they will uh, they will miss this point. Basically, they will miss this point. Okay. Iti guhyatamam shastram idam uktamayanaga etad buddhva buddhivansat kritikatashcha bharata. Iti guhyatamam shastram. This is the secret. Guhya. Guhya means secret. Shastram. Among all the shastram, this is the secret, most confidential. Idam uktamayanaga etad buddhivansat kritikatashcha bharata. This is the most confidential part of the Vedas, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. So this is the most secretive part of the Vedas, and it is open now. So I call this as open secret. Open secret means this Bhagavad Gita anyone can access, right? He can come to this verse 15.18, 19, 20. He can read this, and it's open secret. But if he understands or not, we don't know. The Lord clearly explains here that this is the substance of all revealed scriptures, but one should understand this as it is given by the Supreme Personal Godhead. Thus, one will become intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge. In other words, by understanding this philosophy of the Supreme Personal Godhead and engaging in his transcendental service, everyone can become free from all contaminations of the modes of the material nature. Devotional service is the process of spiritual understanding. Wherever devotional service exists, the material contamination cannot coexist. Devotional service to the Lord and the Lord himself are one and the same because they are spiritual. Devotional service takes place within the internal energy of the Lord. The Lord is said to be the sun, the ignorance, and the darkness. When the Lord is present, there is no question of darkness. Therefore, whenever devotional service is present under the proper guidance of spiritual master, there is no question of ignorance. So, bhakti we need to understand through the help of spiritual master. One must take to this consciousness of Krishna, engage in devotional service to become intelligent, purified, unless one comes to the position of understanding Krishna and engage in devotional service. However intelligent he may be, in the estimation of some common man, he is not perfectly intelligent. The word anaga, by which Arjuna is addressed, is significant. Anaga means sinless one. Unless one is freed from all sinless reactions, it is very difficult to understand Krishna. One has to